When it comes to combating climate change, few solutions generate as much buzz as planting a whole bunch of trees. It sounds pretty straightforward. Trees soak up CO2 from the air as they grow, so planting more of them should help reduce greenhouse gases. The only problem is that tree planting efforts don't always go according to plan. Take Chile, for example. Between 1974 and 2012, the government funded the planting of over 1 million hectares of new trees. However, a recent analysis suggests that this multi-million-dollar initiative didn't result in any significant carbon storage gains. So, what went wrong? Chile focused on afforestation, which involves planting trees in areas that have long been devoid of forests or have never had them in the first place. This is different from reforestation, which aims to restore recently degraded forests. Many governments and organizations champion afforestation as part of their ambitious tree planting goals, which require vast amounts of land. The Bond Challenge, launched in 2011, aims to restore 350 million hectares of degraded land worldwide by 2030, with afforestation playing a role. Even many companies have jumped on the tree planting mantra to offset their emissions and address any negative PR stemming from their contributions to the climate emergency. However, a 2021 Oxfam analysis revealed that achieving the tree planting goals of the 4 largest oil and gas producers would require land twice the size of the UK. Talk about a monumental task. For trees to truly become long-term carbon sinks, they need to grow to maturity and remain in place. Unfortunately, most of Chile's afforestation funding was directed towards the commercial forestry industry, which greatly expanded plantations of predominantly non-native trees. In some cases, this even involved encroaching on native forests. Shockingly, a study showed that natural forests are, on average, 40 times better at carbon storage than plantations. A mature tree can absorb up to 22 kilograms of carbon dioxide annually, but plantation trees are often harvested. To add fuel to the fire, pine and eucalyptus, 2 commonly grown plantation trees, are highly flammable. So, any gains in carbon storage can literally go up in smoke. Let's not forget that not all land is suitable for forests. In Africa, for example, researchers estimated that out of the 100 million hectares earmarked for a tree planting initiative, the majority consists of savanna. Introducing trees into these savannas threatens the wildlife that thrives in open spaces and sunlight. Wildfires and even passing elephants can easily undo years of tree growth. Interestingly, a savanna's natural vegetation stores most of its carbon safely below ground, where it's protected from fire and hungry herbivores. Planting trees in regions like drylands or snowy terrains, which naturally reflect sunlight, can inadvertently contribute to a warmer planet by absorbing more of the sun's rays. Don't get me wrong, planting more trees is still a worthwhile endeavor. However, for these efforts to have the best chance of success, we need to carefully consider the species we plant, the lands we choose to forest, and how we can protect these areas in the long run. Chile has wisely shifted its focus to prioritizing the planting of native trees instead of relying solely on timber plantations. Some researchers argue that the most efficient way to regreen our planet is to protect existing forests and allow nature to work its magic. On recently deforested land, seeds lie dormant in the soil, and new sprouts emerge from old stumps over time. Birds and winds ensure that seeds from nearby forests find their way to these areas. Others advocate for programs that practice assisted natural regeneration, which involves removing competing grasses, preventing grazing, and even planting trees in small patches to assist nature in its regenerative process. So, when is it a bad idea to plant trees? Well, it's not so great when programs choose the wrong trees for the wrong places. It becomes problematic when tree planting is seen as a one-size-fits-all solution, rather than addressing more complex issues such as carbon emissions and active deforestation. It's also not ideal when tree planting initiatives enable companies and governments to engage in greenwashing, simply throwing money at initiatives that can't truly deliver on their promises of carbon offsets. The smartest investments for a greener future involve reducing carbon emissions while simultaneously protecting our existing forests from destruction in the first place.